Have you heard the news that Team Beachbody went belly up? Corporate decided to trim some fat, pun intended, and change their business model from MLM, multi-level marketing, to affiliate. And most of us, if you've been in the fitness world, if you've heard of Beachbody, of trainers like Tony Horton, Shalene Johnson, those guys have been with that company and that network for many, many years ago. And Beachbody has existed and has been in the fitness market for a very long time. I want to share my opinion, and it's odd how the timing works out because this video has been on my heart and my mind for several months now, since when I first decided to start this channel and share my journey in the world, building a life worth living. And career and personal growth and development is a big part of it. And Beachbody was where I got my roots, where I started flexing my entrepreneurial muscle, where I got into personal development. And ultimately, when I joined that team, I thought that that's gonna be my ticket to make my first six-figure income. That ironically, I actually reached that threshold through my day job. But the skills I learned in the Team Beachbody have really helped me in so many areas of life. So I'm definitely grateful for my experience with the company. And I left many years ago now. What is it? Seven years ago. I think I've been with them. I was with them for 4 or 5 years. It all kind of blends. And it took me about 6 months to a year to exit. But the point is, I'm very grateful. And I think a lot of people who have had great experience with Beachbody, whether it's just from their programs and workouts or being a part of the team and learning some skills. But let's start with facts. As of November, the multi-level marketing model is going to dissolve. So if you've been a client, a customer, maybe you played with being a coach, you might be curious of what's going on there. And you might be just like me earlier today, getting some thoughts and just getting some feedback from people, learning of what's going on. So the trigger or the push to record this video has really been the events that took place a couple days ago, and I want to talk about that first. My personal opinion, but I think it might resonate with some of you. And I also want to share my journey with Beachbody and the good things that came out of it. So first of all, if you're saying, it's like, what's all the buzz? You know, what is MLM? Isn't it pyramid scheme? Blah, blah, blah. No. So multi-level marketing is actually a legitimate business model. What that means, you are, as a company, you are incentivizing your reps, coaches in Beachbody world, now BODi and partners, weird name, but whatever. You're incentivizing your reps, your coaches. We'll stick with the word coach because when I was a part of it, that's what we were called. By basically, you pay them a commission if they sell your product. So Beachbody has workouts, it has supplements. So if back in the day you come to me and say, what's up? I want a workout. I'll say, here's a recommendation, use that. And hey, you might want a supplement to go with that. Shakeology is their big meal replacement shake. They have some pre-workout, post-workouts, all kinds of things. So that's one route. And then they also say, hey, if you get results and you show the results, you can sell people our products, or you can recruit people to join your team. And as they become a part of your team and they start to sell and promote the products, you will also get a kickback for that. That's in a very simple ways, right? So you have 2 ways to earn income. And this is why dissolving of this team, of this MLM structure is so critical, and truth be told, so devastating for some of the top leaders in the company. I was brought on, or I approached a woman when I decided to join this company. She was already one of top coaches. She's been in the network for several years. And actually she asked me several years prior to, in a very cringy, in my personal opinion, method. Because at the time I worked at a local gym, and the said leader of the team was also my boss at the gym. I worked part-time for her. I had a great day job. Fitness has always been my hobby. And so she says, hey, you're already part of this fitness community, join the team. For me, MLM was cringy. It reminded me of Herbalife and Mary Kay, and like, when your friends and family are trying to sell you weird stuff and you're not quite comfortable. Also think about it. We're talking like 2013, 14. That's over 10 years ago. So the life was a little bit different, right? The internet was a thing, social media was a thing, but not as diverse, not as widely accepted as it is now. So I said, no. Well, actually, the first invitation came from her probably a couple years prior to that, maybe like 2009. So I watched this woman for several years. And the beautiful thing there, she became such a great leader in the work environment. So in the gym where I worked, and if you know me, you know the person I'm referring to, and there is nothing here that I wouldn't tell her directly. And actually, I reached out to her when I heard the news and basically said, yeah, I heard the news. It doesn't sound like it's gonna be great, but wish you well. But the point is, I saw this woman progress from a flustered, a little controlling business owner, small business owner, a young mom, just trying to do all the things and maybe not doing everything great, to becoming a better leader, a better communicator, providing better feedback. You can see she just flourished, and it came with financial success. And I wanted more money. Who doesn't want more money? I was working my day job. I was a go-getter. I loved the gym environment. And eventually I was like, okay, I want that. I want the money, but I also want the transformation I'm seeing in her as a human. So I read the whole compensation plan. I come to her with like 50 questions. So we get started. She explains pretty quickly to me that, you sell the products, you get your commission, and then you recruit people on your team, and basically you mentor your team, and you get, it's like a volume bonus. So of the volume your team produces, you get a cut. And people who don't quite understand the MLM system think that it's janky and that it's maybe shady, but it truly is not. If you worked in a corporate world or in any organization, any business, you have a boss, you have a leader who makes more money than people below him, middle management, and then you have your everyday employees, and then you have support staff, right? The different thing is, in the MLM, everybody has the same title, essentially, right? Everybody's a coach, but your top coach probably makes a ton more than the new coach who just joined, because they don't have the downline or the team built out. They don't have volume of sales. So there is nothing funky about MLM, and it's a legit structure. And the company that sets up this MLM, they invest in their people. So they take what another company would put into advertising budget. They say, hey, we're gonna spend it on people and have them advertise for us without us having to pay for it. So like, it's overhead. It's a type of overhead. So what was interesting to me from the very beginning, it was my team experience. So the team I joined was like, you're not selling, you're sharing. So one of the big takeaways I got from there, and becoming a professional salesperson and realizing that you can make a beautiful career out of being in sales. My background is, my education is in marketing and advertising, but my career, professional career, has been generally composed of sales and customer service. So primarily sales, commissionable sales. I worked for a salary in sales, different industry, like straight up conveyor sales, telecommunication, cell phone companies. Now I'm in interior design and home building. But the point is, the skill of sales can make you a lot of money. And the interesting part with Beachbody, they were trying to recruit people saying that, well, you're not selling, you're just sharing. No. If you approach selling with this shameful attitude, I don't want to sell, I don't really want to do this, it's kind of cringy. It's only cringy if you make it cringy. And that's something I did not love in Beachbody. Oh, we are not selling, we're sharing. No, we are selling. And we gotta get good at it, because when you get good at it, you provide value. And when you provide value, people want it. And then sales moment or sales process become an exchange of value. I have something that you desire and I'd like to get paid for it. As long as the exchange is mutually beneficial, I think like I get compensated fairly for what I provided, and you feel like you've received a lot of value for the money you gave up, we both win. We both win. But that's not how sales was approached on Beachbody. And that's something I learned with time once I left the network. And I love it. I love selling. I love providing value, and I love being compensated for it. And the better I get at providing value, the better I'm compensated. And my people, my customers are happy. So that's one side, right? So you sell or share and you get paid commission. So you say, hey, this is a program I've done. I got those results. If you want them, you can buy this program from me. So the little trick Beachbody did, they also they created this culture of their coaches working way past the sales. And not only we were not calling that a sale, which is work in itself, after that, we would provide like endless support at no cost to our customers. So I sell you a workout program and then I say, hey, let me coach you through that. Let me set up this Facebook group and texting group, and I'm gonna share inspirational messages, and I'm gonna hold you accountable, and I'm gonna provide additional meal ideas and additional tips, and we'll keep each other accountable, and we're gonna get this done together. Great genius move by Beachbody, because community matters. This is why I have this channel. This is why I am rebuilding my community, because we want people, whether we meet in person or on the internet, whether you're doing dishes or cooking and you got me on and you're listening, it's like we're having this connection. And the more people you have in your circle, we're humans. We are wired for connection. So Beachbody figured that out. So it's like, we're gonna get our coaches not only sell, we're also gonna get them to support those customers. That's a lot of work. And the promise was, the trick is you get paid commission once, right? You made a sale, you get a commission. But the promise was, well, if you recruit those people into your coaching team, later on, you're gonna get the team bonus. And my leader, we'll call her team, said, hey, Janya, just start building a team right away, because the quicker you get a team, and I'm showing pyramid because you build it like your downline has 2 directions, 2 legs. Strike rule, not important. The point is, as you start building your team, you're gonna start collecting team bonus. And it felt really cool once I first got that team bonus, and I was like, okay, I can see how that goes. And I can see that becoming this big income stream for me. And very quickly, I realized, as much work as it was to support customers as a coach in that fitness coach capacity, building a team was even a bigger job, because it requires completely different skills. Maybe not completely, but drastically different skill set. I've seen it in the sales world when I worked, whether it was Verizon or my current job or the previous jobs I've been in. When they take the top producer, let's say it's a sales team, right? They take the best salesperson who has the highest volume, the highest margins, whatever that is, whatever makes you the best on that team, and they make them into a sales manager. And half of those, if not more, suck. Why do they suck? Because they're good salespeople. They're not automatically good leaders. They're not automatically good managers. You need a different skill set. Yes, they cross over. Yes, you need to sell your team on your idea, so sales does help. And yes, having good human connection skills help in sales process, and being a leader helps with a sale, but it's still 2 different things, right? There are people who are very selfish and don't care about other people, and they sell great because they got the transaction, the value transaction down. But try to get them to manage other people, they don't care about others. So if you don't care about other people, it's hard to grow those people. If you are not working on yourself continuously, if you're not improving your skills, it's hard to be a leader of people or a manager that people follow. So I understand why those 2 compensation areas or sources of compensation or commission or pay in Beachbody were very successful. Some people do good just selling product, right? I have one of my coaches, friends, we're still connected. We worked in the gym. She's still in the network, for another month. And she was a good team builder, but she was a great support coach. She was very much into the products. She lives the lifestyle. So she was the person new clients wanted to follow, because she daily practice what she preached from the product perspective. And then there are people who are great in team buildings because they invested, they sell some, but they invested in building their people. Because the people, when they started, they have no confidence, they have no skill. How do you get the confidence and skill? You learn, you try things. So in Beachbody, the team leaders, the most successful, coaches, made a ton from building out their teams. And that is my mentor, who was my mentor. That's how she made her fortune in the company. And I know a handful of those people who really concentrated on building a team. And if you just experience Beachbody programs from the fitness perspective, you're like, what does it even mean building a team? That means weekly calls or monthly calls with your team. That means reading personal development books and teaching your people the takeaways. That meant holding retreats. And my leader, she paid for my trips, and for not fully, but she contributed financially to covering the cost of my hotels. She put me in split hotels between multiple coaches. She covered the cost of them. She provided, refreshments and stuff at the events where we met. So she really nurtured by time, resources, financial and others, to bring her people up, to give us confidence, to give us skills. And I'm forever grateful for that. I'll tell you the reason I left the team, and my mentor was part of that reason, and actually the conversation we had, but we'll get to that in a point. What I am saying is that if you haven't understood what the multi-level marketing model is, that's it. So you sell for affiliate commission or a commission from a sale, and then you benefit from the bonus of how successful your team does. So, and some people did both. And some people, once they get to a certain point in the team, they said, I'm just going to focus on my people, because that's really where the money is in multi-level marketing. You can only sell so many workout programs every month, but if you can get other people to do the same, your impact multiplies. Compound interest, right? Compound effect. So the news from 2 days ago, basically Beachbody said, hey, you all top leaders, people who make their living, who probably moved into this full time, who have dedicated their lives and professional careers to building this team, we're just gonna take that income away. And chances are those top producers don't do a lot of sales. They don't sell the product a lot. They sell the vision, they sell the leadership, they sell the skills that it takes to develop people. Not sell you know what I mean? I'm talking figuratively. They train their people, and that's what becomes their profession, or that's their role in this business. And then Beachbody goes, oh yeah, by the way, we don't need you guys anymore, because truly we're for the customer, and you were just a mean to get to that customer, and now we don't need you. So you've dedicated maybe 10, 12 years to this network. We don't need you anymore. So if you're reading any feedback online right now, you'll hear people saying, oh yeah, I've always been in Beachbody for the workouts. I never wanted to sell stuff to my friends. If somebody wants a commission or if somebody wants a product, sure, I'll share a link. Great. That's what they count on, because that's how they're going to keep selling their products. And I'm sure more information is going to come out, and I'm sure there will be more, clarity on how that's going to be restructured. But people who are going to suffer the most, people who've been most successful with building their teams. And for me, it's just devastating. How can I know how, but a company can just say, hey, we are for the people, and at all the events and all the summits, we were saying how we are together and nobody left behind and everybody matters and we're all about their people. Oh, but wait, our margins are slipping and our overhead is feeling a little heavy. So we're gonna trim the fat and we're gonna start at the very top. For me, it's I understand how it works, but it's devastating. And if you're reading any mean comments or people are upset or angry, reasonably so. Yes, there were no warnings. And I understand why no warnings, because you tell one person, again, those people are tightly connected in the groups. Some people have been working together in the same team. They developed relationships and friendships. So you tell one, yes, the news are gonna spread. So I understand why they didn't say anything to anybody till it just became public. But what a shock. So the incomes are just gonna be wiped away in just a month. And truthfully, Beachbody is not the first company that has done that. Recently, Rodan and Fields have done the same thing, and I have a very close friend in that company. But what is different, I think, is Rodan and Fields. There is a handful of other companies that have done that. They basically said, yeah, we don't care about building a team, we just want your affiliate sales. And interestingly enough, the one drastic difference I have experienced with 3 LMs. So Rodan and Fields, I've never actively participated, but to support my friend, I've been buying product from her, and I love it for my skin for so many years now, I think about 7. And I did join her team at some point just to have a bigger discount, but I'm happy to switch back to customers so she can actually benefit from my sales. But the beautiful thing with RNF, you sell product and they tell you, here's a skincare line, try so we can see it on your face, and introduce it to people. So whether you use your friends network, whether you use your social media, followers, connections, you just say, hey, here's a product, it's great, you should try it, here's before and after, buy it. If you want to buy it, tell me, I'll help you, right? Maybe there is a sale, you say, hey, that favorite eye cream you have, 20% off, you guys hop on, let me know who wants it, right? So you're selling and there is transparency with that. And yes, they also had teams and they also built them, and their sales skills and their personal development was a part of it and all that good stuff. But I feel like once you sell, your job is done. Yes, you provide support if you need to cancel or return something or somebody has a question. But in Beachbody, they made you slave for that effing sale. And I remember working full-time, making good income, teaching gym classes because I loved it. It was my passion. I made money from that. It was a nice supplement, but it really wasn't something that, made me rich. And then I was working crazy hours. Like for my Beachbody business, I remember putting, when I first started, about 25 hours a week on top of 40-hour work week and, let's say 5 to 7 hours at the gym. That's a lot. And I think I was making like $55,000 at that time. Again, it's more than a decade ago. And my Beachbody commissions would be like $40, $80. And I'm like, so I have this day job, and then I have this other side hustle that's taking half as much time and making a percentage, like a fraction of what I'm putting in. It's like, I don't see input output. And T goes, my mentor goes, with time, your team is going to build up. So compounding effect, you're going to make a lot more. And truth be told, people have, she did. And then one day they're like, oh yeah, you're no longer making this. So like an example of other MLM companies where you just sell, whether it's like oils or skincare, you provided a product, cool. Maybe you checked in with a customer to see how they're doing, collect a testimonial, and you're done. But Beachbody was like, oh, you want to keep your people engaged so they keep coming back for workouts, so they keep buying supplements. So you run a free group, you run a free challenge. Do you know how much work it takes to run a freaking free group online? Nothing is free, kids. Time, we're trading time for money. And I remember like getting, $200 commission in a week. Again, not complaining, nice extra money. Who doesn't like extra money? But I'm like, I just slaved for this 12 hours this week. And I have been up at 5 answering messages and comments in that group. And I've been providing additional support and benefits that go way past the challenge or the program that Beachbody provided. So at some point, I'm like, okay, again, background in marketing, I'm like, okay, the math is not mathing. I like building a team, but it was a slower go. I also had a lot of learning to do in the leadership area at the time, but naturally born leader. So I'm like, okay, let's get her up. Let's do this. Let's do this. But I'm thinking about it, and I had certifications, and I was, had credentials as a personal trainer. as a fitness instructor. I was very interested in nutrition, so I kept learning that. But I'm like, this is a regulated field. And we have people calling themselves coaches, giving nutritional advice to other people. It's like, that's not right. Are they giving good advice or bad advice? Who do you know? I didn't think I was qualified enough to provide any nutritional advice. I read books, I tried it on myself, I knew what worked. But I remember thinking and telling T, I'm like, dude, that's not right. And it's like, how are we even called coaches? We have no credentials. I just signed up with a purchase and now I am a coach. Maybe that's a part of why they renamed them into partners, which is also a weird name. But for me, that was one of the problems. And then she goes, well, you have your experience, you have a leg up. I'm like, yeah, I do, but how can I recruit another person to be like, you can do the same thing as me, but you're not a fitness trainer, you're not a personal trainer, you're not certified, but you can still do that. And for me, it was like this disconnect, and the disconnect planted a seed that it's like, that's not right. I should not be, even though I'm a fitness coach and I am a personal trainer, I should not be giving people nutritional advice. I'm not a nutritionist. And it became like, for me, it was an expertise point, and it just felt a little phony for me, because it's like all those people, a ton of them are unhealthy and overweight, giving advice to other people. I'm like, are we helping or are we hurting? Thankfully, I do know my stuff, and I had repeat customers, and people started coming into my online challenges and my programs time and time again. So I had a clientele that stuck with me. And eventually I moved, actually a couple of years after I started with a team, Beachbody, I moved out of the town. And if you're in northern Michigan, it's a small rural area. So, and in the town I lived, everybody was a Beachbody coach or everybody was a client. So it was very well saturated. So when I moved to a different part of the state, it was great to be online because I kept my gym goers engaged and connected in my fitness groups. But people started coming to me and being like, forget the Beachbody, like, we want to pay you. That ab challenge you did was fire, had nothing to do with Beachbody. I wrote up programs, I recorded them, I presented them. And first I didn't charge for them, I knew, didn't know better. But once you know better, you do better, right? So one of my customers comes to me and says, Jenna, yeah, Beachbody is great, but like, we can just skip that whole thing and I'll just pay you to be in the challenge. And I remember thinking, it's like, oh my gosh, there is another way to make money. You're the prize, girl. You're the prize. So we have this mentorship call with my mentor team. I'm so fired up. And that was 2017. I remember that. I remember what I was wearing. The conversation stuck with me. And at that point, I'm in the network 3-4 years. Not sure why I can't remember the date, but the point is, in Beachbody, I'm making about $10,000 a year. Nice supplement, nothing crazy, but for the amount of money, that $10,000 doesn't, it's a below minimum wage job if you convert it into hours spent. Nice supplement to my main job, and who doesn't want extra 10 grand? But now when people are saying, hey, I would pay you, I'm like, I love this. Yeah, I would like this. And T goes, no, you can charge them. I'm like, why not? All those credentials, all that experience, all the results I've built for people, that is expertise enough. I think I get to charge them. She's like, no, you can't. You can and I'm thinking like, hold on. So what is Beachbody saying that I can provide all this extra value at no charge? That's bullshit. So we disagree. And I say, like, I'm starting my own business, basically. I wanted to use Beachbody platform for products, but I wanted to package my fitness coaching as a service and charge extra for it because it had a lot of extra value. And T goes, no, you can't do that. And then she goes, hey, do you think you can just go out and start your own business and make like 6 figures? Probably wasn't her tone, probably wasn't the exact words, but I remember thinking, watch me. And that was the beginning of the end. Again, I sound cocky and arrogant. I wasn't that cocky. I didn't say that out loud. But I remember in my mind, I'm like, if in the United States I cannot go out and start a business and make $100,000, what are we doing, guys? If anywhere in the world you can start from nothing, you can take your skill and you can make it into something, it is here. And if the company, the network marketing company I'm a part of doesn't allow me to do this, something is wrong here. So that summer, that was the conversation we had in spring of 2017. That summer, I started looking into online automation marketing, email marketing, because I'm like, there's got to be a better way to do this. And I was smart enough to export my customer list from Beachbody and use a free marketing platform like MailChimp to stay in touch with my clients. Beachbody had their own email system. It was so janky, and to this day, I get the emails from my friends. I'm like, what the hell, guys? I mean, digital marketing has evolved so much, and you still look like 1999. So I was smart enough to export it, and then eventually I started dabbling more in fitness coaching on my own. I created a couple courses, test ran and had a few customers, but then I started to realize that people are not coming for me for more fitness advice. People are coming for me for that personal transformation. And for me, that was started with Beachbody. One of their pillars of success was personal growth. So we read books. Podcasts were not as big of a deal then, but personal development was like a part of the DNA of Beachbody team. And for that, I'm so grateful, because that's how I learned to think different. That's how my mind expanded to new opportunities, opened me up to new mentors, new authors, and I just took off running. And truly, my life has drastically changed. But what I realized, I saw the coaches or clients in my coaching community coming back to my challenges and programs time and time again, losing the same 5 pounds, losing the same 10 pounds. I'm like, the problem is not weight. The problem is what's here and what's here. So let's work on that. And eventually I found a business coach who, at that time, she actually worked primarily with business coaches. She worked primarily with Beachbody coaches, helping them build their own business around the Beachbody model. So she was helping with how to position yourself, how to tailor in your brand, creating online products. So Sarah Dan, shout out. Love the woman. She's still business coach 7 years later. I followed her because we connected on the Beachbody topic, and that was September, and by December I made a decision I was going to go out on my own. And I don't think it was till next summer till I finally left or completely left the network. And the interesting part, another good point, long story here, I hope you're enjoying it. In the network, another thing that was funky for me, everybody was a friend. And my mentor T, to this day, she's like, my friend, and the name of a person, my friend, and the name of the person, including the CEO of the Beachbody company. My friend, I don't know, you can still call him a friend if this person basically just took away your livelihood. And super trainers on Beachbody team, my friend. And for me, it got funky, because if you are my friend and I am your friend, I got you and you got me. If it's a phone call at night, if it's an ear, land in an ear so you can vent, like, I got you. And it's not just business. But I think what gets funny in those communities, we are all friends. As soon as I leave the network, all friends disappear. All friends disappear. People we went to summit with, people we hung out with at the events, people who were success partners or support partners, people we were on the calls with for several years, every week or every month, disappeared. I'm still friends with one person I connected and created a friendship through Beachbody. One genuine connection. We're as different as we come. We were partnered as success partners at some point, and to this day, I left 7 years ago. I think she's still connected to the network. We still check in, we still get Christmas cards from each other. That is a friend. She was a success partner. We're not close, like we don't live in the same state, but we are friendly. We check in on each other's families. We know about each other. We think about each other. That's friendship. Everybody else in the network and the team, including my mentor, radio silence. awkward encounters, trying to keep some sort of, communication once in a great while, but very transactional. That's not friendship. So let's stop, side note or great takeaway here, let's stop calling everybody friends. I enforce that in my current job now because I think it gets funny when we get friendly with people, like current day job. You tell me how it is in your workplace. I have people I work with, my coworkers, my colleagues, and I have people I work with who I also have friendship relationships outside of the office. And a great test for that, if you quit, if you get fired, if you move on, are you still gonna be friends with those people, or will you never talk to them again unless you bump into them or need something from them? And it's been interesting, also a topic for probably a different conversation. Through the years, I haven't jumped many jobs. I'm a pretty loyal employee, but I'm old enough to have had more than one job. It's funny it's interesting, it's very telling to see who stays with you and who doesn't. And some people you thought were your friends, they were just your work friends. And some people were true friends. You move on, you go to different jobs, you stay connected. And in the Beachbody network, it was like everybody's a friend. We're one big happy family. And it was a great vibe, truly, but I think it's like there was no separation. You're my team leader, I am your team member. Like, we're not necessarily friends, and it's fine. We can be friendly. I'll come to your house for an event. We can travel together, but we're not friends. We are benefiting from this relationships. And with friends, you stay friends, even if it doesn't benefit you financially or otherwise, right? You can be friends with people who are just great for your life and you're great for theirs, and there is no additional benefit. A long story of Beachbody. So, a little bit more on the positive things. What were the good things that I took away for myself? Joining the Beachbody taught me to think for myself, taught me to start a business, taught me the discipline. It helped me dive deep into the world of personal development, self-exploration, self-improvement. That I am forever grateful. And the community was a real treat. At the time, the connections felt real. And we need people, you guys, we need people. The internet will have you believe that you can just scroll all day and you don't need a friend to go on a walk. And yes, this is great. Like, I love listening to a podcast when I'm walking. I hope you're watching this video and you're doing something else and not necessarily just sitting watching me. It's nice to have those relationships, but nothing replaces person next to you, shoulder to shoulder, a group of people, a group of women. In particular, I feel like females, again, I can talk for a man, I'm not one. I have one, but that's a whole different story. But the point is, we need that community, we need that support, and it's a beautiful thing to be a part of it. And it's such a shame that Beachbody Network is gonna dissolve that, and somehow they're gonna try to preserve the sense of community, but I can tell you it's not gonna be the same. So that's a shame, and I'm really grateful, even though those friendships didn't stay, and though those friendships were superficial at the time. Being a part of the community made me feel alive. And I remember when I worked at the gym, that was the best part, second best. The first best part was having clients or participants in my class just laid up at the end of the class. But the whole, like, you come in, this is my group, this is my gym buddies, right? So that's a beautiful thing. And those two things are probably my biggest benefits and takeaways from that company. With that being said, I want to finish with a thought. Change is the only constant. Don't hold on too tight to whatever that is you have or don't have. It's not gonna stay forever. And my heart really breaks for people who thought they made it and their lives were predicted and the trajectory was their success was laid out with that company. And I'm also, it's like, I told you so, I knew I was right, and now here's the proof. And sometimes it's like, I wish I wasn't right, but I am. For me, one of my disagreements in that, or we didn't agree on this. It wasn't an argument, but like on the points we didn't see the same way. When my mentor T told me like you can just go out and start a business, yes, I haven't made my 6 figures in my business. I reached it through my professional career. And I know she's, joke is on me, she's probably in the millions. But another 2 sides here. It was interesting that nobody ever talked openly about money. You can make this. Well, how much? It's an extra income. How much? What's the potential on the low, on the high end? Like, give me some examples. Because like it's going for an interview and saying, yeah, you got the job. How much are we going to pay? I don't know. It's like we need some numbers. We need some numbers. We need some examples. And the money was always this weird subject there. And that's another thing that I took away. It's like, I want to master my relationship with money. I don't want any weirdness. I don't want to have negative or limiting money beliefs. And I want to be able to have a conversation that doesn't offend anybody, but it's open and transparent. How we feel about money, how we deal with money, how we earn, how we spend, how we distribute what we receive. And I've worked with money coaches and read a ton of books on that. And it's been a huge benefit for me. Because at some point, I remember thinking that receiving that money, that commission, or that pay from a coaching client was like, I had to work extra hard to prove that I was good enough. First time I charged somebody for my coaching service, she purchased a Beachbody program from me, and I offered additional coaching at a fee. And I remember being like, $75 for a month. And it was like some over the top, like access to me, weekly check-ins and this, that, and the other thing, $75. And now it's like, I charge more for an hour. For half an hour, I charge more now. And yes, I'm in a different field now, but the concept is the same. I'm providing you support. I'm giving you value. You have access to me. That's energy. That's time. So it's like there was a cost with that. But back then I remember being like, can I even charge? But Beachbody created this weird, maybe it was just the team I was on, oh, we can charge extra because, the company pays us. And at the same time, my mentor kept saying, you have your business under the Beachbody umbrella. You don't have your business. You're just somebody's salesperson. And once they decide to change, your business gets taken away, just like it happened 2 days ago. If you want your own business, start your own business. Forming an LLC as a fitness coach in Beachbody, that's not a business. Creating your own product, having your own brand, building a marketing channel, building an email list, that's how you build a business. Provide value, fix a problem, provide a solution for something customer wants. That's the business. And I think the whole girl boss movement was so popular for when I started, and that belief that we just sacrifice sleep and we get up at 5 o'clock and we just work nonstop on lunch breaks. And as soon as we get home and we're just cram. And that was so glorified. And listen, we go through seasons, we work hard, like right now in my day job in my career, we have this seasonal sale. And it's a lot of work. And I work till 7:30 today at night, full day plus some. Yeah, but it's a season, it comes and goes. But that attitude is like a badge of honor. I sacrificed my health and my time and my sleep and this to earn this commission through this company that lets me name this my business, but it's not really my business. And here's an example how they're going to take it away. Understand what you want. I think MLM was a great model for somebody who grew up in a traditional home with a mindset of an employee like I was. I grew up in a very simple family where you just work till you retire and then you just wait to die, Also a different subject. But the point is, I didn't have entrepreneurs in my sphere of influence. I didn't have an example of what it looks like to start a business. So for me, deepen my toes into an MLM under that pretense of having my own business. It wasn't a pretense. I felt the ownership of it. But it helped me break out of the mold of being an employee. And I'm a great worker. I produce. My bosses probably wouldn't say I'm a great employee, very ornery, independent, and way too self-sufficient, which, those are qualifications of an entrepreneur. I had to develop them. They didn't come naturally to me. But playing with an MLM, taking on that ownership, even with the safeguard of the company providing you the product and some sort of marketing tools, that's a great bridge. So if you've been in the MLM and maybe your company canceled the compensation plan, or maybe you're not loving the product, or maybe you have that weird disconnect and it's like, something is not clicking for me, take the benefit of it. Maybe it showed you how to start a business. Maybe it showed you how to do sales. Maybe it showed you how to grow an audience, or how to get a customer. Take that and decide, do you want to do the side gig, side hustle because of girl boss movement? Or do you truly feel that you want to break out of that 9 to 5 framework? And either one are fine. Having a job is not bad. Having a job is freaking awesome, especially if you have a good job. Love mine. Every job is stressful, business is stressful, but there is a benefit of being able to go to work and be done and turn off that and be present in your home and in your family. Because entrepreneurship is nonstop. It's all day, every day. And you're the boss. And you're in charge of failures and you're in charge of successes when it's truly your business, when it's not under the umbrella of some MLM, some Beachbody, or some oil company, or some skincare company. When you do your own thing, you're all in. And deciding for yourself, what if you just love being an employee? Then learn to manage your money. Learn how to make more with what you have. Learn to take care of it, invest it, get back, figure out how to have a good relationship, a healthy relationship with money, and have the skill to manage it. But if you're saying my job is just killing my soul, I want my own thing, I want the creative thing, keep your job till you're figuring things out. Decide, what do you want? Do you want to be a YouTuber? Do you want to come up with a creative product and sell that? Do you want to sell a service? There are ways to do it. Or do you want some passion project that does generate you some money, so your soul-sucking job is not killing you, so you have an outlet? Decide where you want to be, not what people are telling you, not what the girl bosses on the internet are telling you. And I'm so grateful to see that this whole hustle culture is dying out, and women are coming back to yeah, we fought for our rights, yeah, we got all the rights, but somehow we ended up with more than 50% now. How do we give up some of this control? How do we unload some of this load? So yeah, there was definitely room for MLMs, and yes, nothing stays constant, so the change is understandable. Where they're going from a business perspective, dry, no feelings, no emotion. I understand what Beachbody is doing as a company. They want fatter profit margins. They want lower overhead. Every business wants that. But the way they're approaching is, I think, is heartless for a company who said they were all heart and they were all people and people mattered most. They're a publicly traded company now. Money matters most. And I'm a big fan of capitalism, and I'm a big fan of stocks. I'm a big fan of that. And as I said earlier, the ideas coming, especially coming from being born in a different country and seeing how things work in other places, I can tell you it's a gift that we can say, hi, I'm just a random woman with a day job who wants to start a business. And for $50, you can incorporate an LLC and say, I have a business. Or better yet, you just file as doing business as without even filing an LLC to start with. And you can start generating income through social media, through online, through in person. You can set up a freaking tent at a farmer's market and sell your bread you make in your own kitchen and make a living out of it. The opportunities truly are endless. But deciding for yourself is a great place to be. And whether you're watching this for curiosity and you just heard of Beachbody, or maybe you've been a client, cool. Whether you're connected or semi-disconnected, I think my takeaway for you, or my call to action for you at the end of this, look at where you are with your vocationally, right? What do you do for a living? Does it make you happy? Do you want more? If something changed drastically tomorrow, what would you do next? We don't need to live in fear, but let's be honest. Just like MLM going away, somebody can get fired tomorrow. Somebody can get laid off. Your company can go out of business. Do you have a plan B? And if you don't have a plan B, again, we don't need to always worry about the bad day happening, but what would you do? Could you just do what you do for the rest of your life? Would you love it as much as you do? Or what would be a better combination of things? And I'm not here to preach that everybody needs 7 streams of incomes, but life is fucking short. What makes you feel alive? And money is an integral part of our life. So pretending we just work for passion or we only do things for money, like, it's silly. I think it's both. You can earn by doing things you like, but you also sometimes earn by doing things you might not love, like a day job. Maybe you don't like your boss, or maybe you don't like your hours, but you realize that you need certain level of income to exist, to thrive. Like, we need money. Money is a part of life experience. So how do we structure our relationship with that? And how do we do what makes us feel alive? How do we do something professional that makes you feel like you have a life worth living in a professional sense? A lot of open-ended questions here, a lot of rhetorical questions. I hope you like the story. Subscribe. We're just getting started here on the internet, and it felt like a good, almost origin story. It's too bad it's been prompted by such a big change. To all my fellow former coaches, hope you're hanging on, and I hope the change shakes out to be a good one for it. It might not seem like it now, and truth be told, it's not all optimistic for everybody. I see you, I hear you, I respect you, and I'll see you around.